Go Susie.
Daylight fights its way to me. Dirt pushed aside by unfamiliar hands. I tried to speak to make them let me be. 3, 2, 1, go!
Is this Satan playing with you? Uh-oh. I think dry.
Hello? No, that's not Satan, that's a robot. That was bad. Okay. Oh, how many wheels have I got? Oh no. That's not good. That's not what you're supposed to do. Okay, the music of this game is just repeated shite. Look, do you like the way I've decorated the vehicle? I've given it the chart and stripes. Come on, robot. Oops. Supposed to not go off the edge myself. Oh god. How could I do it twice? Okay. Now it's all or nothing. Bishop. Bishop. Bishop has blood like milk. Or milk. Or cream or something. Like that. What are those cars? Can you imagine having one of those cars in real life? It's just like sort of a pixelated block. Much cooler than this hunk of shit. Oh. And the lights won't guide you home. And it's what you need. Fucking bullshit. Oh, no, don't. Whoops. Mustn't play that. Let's change the... Let's change the thing for somewhere else. Vale Falls Circuit. I can't remember that one. Come on in. Music's fantastic. Gasoline, gasoline. Because gasoline, gasoline. Because it's rock music. It's rock. Generic rock. Generic rock. Croc. Generic rock. Stiff, long, open rear. Okay. Come on, Bishop, what you got? Sneaks ahead. No, see Bishop. Come back, Bishop. Come back, Bishop. You've got push-ups to do. Whoops. Wonder what. Given that it looks like we're not going to catch him up, we're going to catch him. Catch him on the other side. Where are you, Bishop? Come on. I can hear you. There you are. Oops. Sorry, Bishop. Now in your way. Looks like you got a bit of a fire there under the hood. Oh no. What hood? Wow. Cheeky bastard. What's wrong, Bishop? You don't want to play? How many laps have we got on them? Stay there for a bit. Feeling there's some bits of panelling on this vehicle that's perhaps a bit loose or something. You can hear like, sounds like a little bell ringing or something. Hello. Who've we got? King Bitch. Okay. Hello, King Bitch. We're up to King Bitch. Do I like you? Yeah, I guess. My name says I like you. Oh, steady on. That's a little forward, isn't it? Again. Another body part at the front, I hope. Sorry? Didn't quite catch that. What did you say? Well, yeah, I'm racing against Bishop. Look, there he is. See? Bishop is just waiting. He's got a donut finger. Yeah, that's what it said. That's what it means. See when it says DNF, it means donut finger. Yep. Sorters. Hmm. Okay, let's try. Let's try a different track, shall we? What do you think? No, it's not. It's not Satan. Abidge. Abadge. Abidge, Abadge. if I can delete the music. Well, how unfortunate. Really, really sounded fun. Come on, Bishop, what are we going to do then? Oh dear. That's not going to win the medal. Okay. Don't look much like a car anymore. Fuck him. Come on, you lot, cheer. It's not loud enough. Bishop, such a fucking show off. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Is that? Oh, it is. It is. Okay.
make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. What we're going to be analyzing today is Trump's strange behavior during his White House Correspondents' Dinner speech. If you already watch my channel, you may have seen that I have been extensively covering President Trump's mental decline, his strange brain glitches, his odd behaviors. It seems to be getting progressively worse, and this speech is no different. Over the course of the past year, this decline seems to have been fairly steep. There do seem to be some very odd behaviors, and I will explain those as we go. All right, let's just jump right in.
But we had a contest for who had the lowest ratings and the lowest IQ on television, and that was actually d'lAmerique. You know, when I said that he's the dumbest man on television, I said, you know, when you say some things, you never make a comeback. It's not like, oh, gee, hey, Don, let's have dinner some night. But I know what I'm saying.
Did you catch that right there? But I know what I'm saying. I cannot figure out what on earth that's in reference to or what it's supposed to mean. I think that we are hearing internal thoughts out loud. I think there's a lot of confusion. Listen to this again, then we're going to jump back and cover some other areas.
You know, when you say some things, you never make a comeback. It's not like, oh, gee, hey, Don, let's have dinner some night. But I know what I'm saying. And then you have Bette Midler and Jane Fonda actually held.
So this is concerning on a couple of levels. One is that he's saying things that make no sense, and two, he seems unaware that he said it.
And the Waldorf people are doing a really nice job. We're proud of them, actually, because, you know, when I left town, I was a little angry. I was a little bit angry.
Blah, blah, blah.
See, there's a point where he caught himself. That's a point where he slurred and he knew it. So you're going to hear he corrects that, but he frequently does not.
Proud of them, actually, because, you know, when I left town, I was a little angry. I was a little bit angry. I was offered a nice price. I said, I'm getting out of that place. And then I said, let's make a comeback. CBS News' David Ellison, who's going to do a fantastic job. He's the owner.
So even when he's reading off the teleprompter, he is struggling right now. He cannot get full sentences out. He gets distracted mid-sentence. Listen to this part again.
Last time, in fact, it's so successful that I've been informed by CBS News' David Ellison, who's going to do a fantastic job. He's the owner. To be honest, it's just about the only way that they're going to ever get me back here. You're going to have to change the name of the dinner. But how's that one going? Not too good.
Now, Trump is someone who does tend to go off script a little bit, but he's rambling more. He's mumbling more.
Hi.
Hello.
How's that one going? Not too good. What about this space? I'm happy with that. Looks like hell. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not supposed to say it. I like the way I look when I
What happened to
So
this
now he's
place?
going off script. There's high points in this. You're about to see when he goes off script. That's when the verbal problems are.
But I never said that. There's no politics.
He tried to say the word concert. That is nonsense. Listen closely.
I don't care what anyone says. I'm not supposed to say it because I like the way I look, but I don't. But in a recent document, Bruce, there's no politics. You're gonna run for office. But only talking about me.
And the further this goes, the more he starts to slur his words. The harder it is for him to keep at it, the harder it is for him to keep his energy up. Now you're seeing him start to stumble. This is only about
I've watched people stand up because I have
Oh, damn bastards.
quite a few times. People don't realize. And there's one time in particular when Barack Hussein Obama hosted it. Do you know who that is?
So pay attention to the way he says that. He does not comprehend what he is reading because he's not saying it the right way. He is confused by what he's reading.
In particular when Barack Hussein Obama hosted it. Do you know who that is? And he hit me hard. But TikTok, good old TikTok, and I was able to get it sold to a
What does
group
that
of very wealthy people, mostly Americans. I was told President Xi, who's
Listen to this sentence again. He is just so impulsive. He is struggling so much to make sense. Just listen closely.
sold to a group of very wealthy people, mostly Americans. I was told President
Mostly Americans, I were told.
sold to a group of very wealthy people, mostly Americans. I was told President Xi, who's
Right now, he's talking about a conversation he had with the president of China about purchasing TikTok, about Americans purchasing TikTok. And what he says is just incoherent. Once again.
actually, I mentioned his name. I said, these are wonderful people. And it'll be a good thing. Doesn't mean anything, President. It's nothing. It's nothing. They love your country. We'd love to see you approve.
Shave my duck.
Hey, hello.
After stories
How are you
gets down
doing?
high points at the end for people to believe they know what he's talking about. But everything in the middle is just nonsense. It's just gibberish, basically.
nothing. They love your country. So they thought about going with a professional clown for entertainment, but Adam Shifty Schiff was not available. You know, he's known, I call him, I insult him. I shouldn't say insult, but I'm not supposed to hate him. I'm supposed to love everybody. But he's a terrible person. There's a lot of him.
So you can feel the agitation, the anger. He's very upset. But listen to President Trump's struggle right here. If you're not paying attention, you might not notice that he is struggling. But when it comes to his nickname for Adam Schiff, just listen again.
Head I've ever seen with the smallest neck, pencil neck. How does that big, fat, ugly head stand on a little pencil neck? And then I'm told that even Rosie O'Donnell reached out from Ireland. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me. She loves me very much, and she was desperate to come back to the United States and pay her respect to Donald J. Trump. But that didn't work out, unfortunately, because nobody wanted her to come back. But she's one of the greatest
See, there was supposed to be a joke in there, but he couldn't get to the punchline. He's struggling to make sense of what he is supposed to say. And historically, he's somebody that could talk off the cuff a little bit. He might make a joke out of what they're talking about, and he does that a little bit here. But in general, he's getting lost and then just meandering. He understands it to a degree, but there's an underlying thread of confusion about the different lines he's delivering.
But I want to personally congratulate CNN's Caitlin Collins on receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award.
There's so much anger and confusion here. Now, he is someone that can be angry, but listen to this. This really is next level, even by President Trump standards.
Receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, Caitlin, congratulations. But it was fake. There's no question about it. But she's a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. I said, Caitlin, do you ever smile? Smile. CNN fake news. You should be a happy person.
There's so much rage and so much seething anger underneath what he's saying, and it seems to get worse as the night goes on. Now, I talked about in my last video about, or at least my last video analyzing this aspect of his speeches, it seemed like he might be sundowning, and that seems potentially true here as well. He seems to be struggling more at night, having word-finding issues, slurring his words more, having issues with saying things that don't make any sense, and saying things that are on his mind. You're seeing more of that.
What does that mean? Is that what it means when he said like he's having problems at night?
So smile, Caitlin, just smile. But we attacked.
Is that like after the sun's gone down?
Really made it.
See, it just said I don't even know what that was attached.
CNN fake news. She's a happy person. So smile, Caitlin, just smile. But we attack, and I thought Caitlin had really made it.
See, we attack was attached to nothing. That made absolutely no sense.
We attack, and I thought Caitlin had. So I said, Stephen, nobody called. No, sir. And 2 hours later, I said, hi, Steve. Nobody called. No, sir, no, President. I said, President. So this went on for about a week. I'd say, Caroline, did the press call? No, sir, no call.
Does anyone really call him sir? He
So I
always
said,
says,
you know, I'm going to give the press my phone number. That was the stupidest thing I ever did. I didn't call him for 47 minutes.
And this does give us some insight into President Trump. When he's not being talked about, he gave out his number just to make sure that the press would talk about it. That is wild.
Man, the press calls.
3.7.
Now, I talked about his decision-making getting worse. I've talked about how I actually don't think that the war in Iran would have happened had he been a sound mind.
3.7
Also,
minutes.
it's a crazy thing to do.
What is 0.7
And
of
there
a
he is
minute?
tripping up on more words. It's becoming more evident when you pay attention to him, but it's constant. He's always tripping up on those words. He can't seem to get out one of those sentences without pushing words together, without combining words together.
Somebody today, they said, I've never heard a phone ring as much as fresh. Now, I look at the thing and usually just delete. He was leading on the deceased crowd, and there were a lot of them. You're finding out there's a lot of them. Look at the numbers that just came out yesterday. And it's traditional that at least potential presidential hopefuls attend the correspondence dinner, but many of them seem to have really chickened out. I was disappointed that Gavin Newsom didn't show up.
Now, this was subtle, but this also shows that Donald Trump does not understand what is going on. I cannot overstate that. So, historically, he has called Gavin Newsom Gavin Newscum and sort of emphasized the scum part of it. And I suspect that the way it was written in the teleprompter was his name was Gavin Newscum. I don't think that Trump realizes that's a big deal right now. I think that's actually Gavin Newsom's name. Instead of saying his name was.
Correspondence dinner, but many of them seem to have really chickened out. I was disappointed that Gavin Newsom.
See, he pronounced it as though that was actually his name. He does not realize that's a nickname that he came up with. But the teleprompter probably has it right there, and he's confused by it.
To be fair, there's only one thing we know about Gavin, and that's that he definitely doesn't want to fight fire with water. He's got a lot of water in them pieces. What a disaster. That should have never happened. But Gavin Newsom recently.
Say that again. He does not realize that that is supposed to be a joke.
Disaster. That should have never happened. But Gavin Newsom recently did a career-threatening, one of the worst interviews I've ever seen, where he said that he can't read a speech. He's incapable of reading a speech.
A little bit of irony. That's what we're going to continue.
He can't read a speech. He's incapable of reading a speech. He's a low-IQ person. He's smarter, however, than all of the people in the room, and then he gets sued for being a racist, okay, when he said that. But he basically said he has various...
He said he got sued for being a racist. Once again, there are words he's throwing in there that don't really make any sense. Instead of saying accused, he said sued, which makes no sense.
IQ person. He's smarter, however, than all of the people in the room, and then he gets sued for being a racist, okay, when he said that. All these things, and I said, anybody running against him, all they have to do is take that one interview and you can't lose. I actually put out a statement. Gavin Newsom has come out and said he will.
And he got confused to go by the Newscom part of things, and so he didn't say it all the way. Trump is definitely confused right now.
Actually put out a statement. Gavin Newsom has come out and said he will not be running for president because nobody can say what he said about himself and survive. And Newsom was in big trouble
See, and now he's saying he's going to run.
when he openly admitted that Kamala was smarter than him. She said Kamala is smarter. If Kamala,
And he just said she said Kamala was smarter. This whole part is a disaster, which is so ironic because he was saying that Gavin Newsom can't deliver speeches, which clearly he's struggling with right now himself.
Newsom was in big trouble when he openly admitted that Kamala was smarter than him. She said Kamala is smarter. If Kamala is smarter than someone, you don't want that person to be president of the United States of America. On a serious note, I want to say once again, I just want to thank you all.
So as you can see, he's wrapping things up. He's wearing a novelty hat, joking that he's going to run again in 2028.
It's been an interesting evening. I didn't really know what to expect, and it's far worse than I actually thought. But if you want to know that.
Now, him talking about it being worse than he actually thought, I think he's being sincere. I think that when Wolf Blitzer presented the award to the journalist that covered his connection with Jeffrey Epstein, that I think that was the low point of the evening for him. I think that was humiliating for him, and I think it bothers him tremendously. So that has set a cloud over the rest of the evening. Now we're going to watch a little bit of President Trump's reactions to Oz Perlman's mentalism. Now, Oz Perlman is a world-class mentalist. I'm not going to go through and show what he's doing in terms of mentalism, but I'm going to show President Trump's reaction to what he's doing.
Number one place in the world you'd love to go. Look at it again. Turn your back so I can't see you and you can't see me.
As you can see, President Trump is not moving a single inch. I think that he is fully asleep right there.
Close your eyes for me, David. There's a passport involved. David, keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. What was the place when I said spin it?
Now, you're briefly going to see President Trump wake up just enough to lean back and get into a more comfortable position. When he's doing that, his eyebrows are up. I wouldn't say that he's fully awake at this point, but I would say awake enough to at least move. Watch this right here.
Just keep your eyes closed. What was the place when I said spin it? Stop right there. Where did you want to go? Tell us.
See, his eyebrows are up. They're there, Caroline Levitt. She looked over at him. I think she now realizes what's going on.
Take it. I'll take it. Did Fiji pop in your head?
Fiji came at 1 point, I will say. Fiji did come at 1 point.
The clapping seems to have alerted him a little bit, but he still seems to be quite asleep.
I'm gonna show you over here. I'm gonna show the president. The president still admiring the Czech pistol. I know he's saying, those are beautiful chandeliers, sir.
See, he's saying he's good. He's trying to cover the fact that he was
The Czech pistol. I know he's saying, those are beautiful chandeliers, sir. Oh, I have a better idea. Throw the hat out in the crowd.
So right now, Rose Perlman has President Trump throwing a hat out in the crowd. It's basically the way you choose.
Let's go. Someone cats. Or nobody cats.
Thanks to President Trump landing on somebody's dishes or glasses or something like that. A fairly normal reaction. No one should his reaction from go a little further.
Throw right now.
Now at this point, Rose Perlman is at the very end of a very impressive mentalist routine. So when we look at this expression right here, it can mean one of two things. One is that he's frustrated because he's not receiving attention. That's always possible. Or two, he really does not understand what's going on around him. Mentalist routines are very complex. It requires that you hold on to a lot of different information. I actually don't think he's able to follow what's going on right now. And that's why we have this expression. All right, let's go ahead and start to wrap things up. Hopefully this is helping you better understand some of the psychology and the body language we observed from President Trump today. We saw someone who was raging, impulsive. His judgment was bad. There were so many problems throughout the speech. He was confused so many times. I do not think he knew half the time what he was reading. And unfortunately, I think that this is only going to get worse. I think in the next 6 to 8 months, we're going to see a dramatic change in the way that he presents, based on everything that we saw today and everything we've been seeing for the past few months. If you have any other thoughts about this, or if there's anything else you want me to analyze, please let me know in the comments below. Last thing before we get finished up is I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, thanks for watching.
The Trump administration pushes to rename Penn Station, but what name will they go with? I guess we'll never know. This is just another day. Right now, as a result of the ongoing war in Iran, costs are surging here at home and Americans are struggling with affordability. But not to worry, because the Trump administration has a new plan.
Penn Station could get a new name if Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy gets his way. In a letter sent to various Senate committees, Duffy said renaming Penn is an administration priority, but he did not say what that name would be.
Yes, what name could it possibly be? Maybe New York Station or Empire State Station, or who knows, and this is just a hunch, but maybe the administration will choose to name it after the one man who spends every waking moment demanding that he gets his name on things, Donald Trump. I love how the Trump administration is suddenly being coy. Like, I hate to break it to this White House, but once this guy has forced his name onto our passports, buildings, battleships, bills, coins, savings accounts, and pharmaceuticals, cat's kind of out of the bag. But for many, the idea of Penn Station bearing Trump's name is the natural choice, considering Penn is also home to Madison Square Garden. You know, that legendary arena, which just earlier this year welcomed this president with open arms.
Well, President Trump did not receive a warm welcome at Madison Square Garden last night.
Still boo them less than Trump.
in funding for construction of a tunnel connecting New York and New Jersey if Schumer would agree to rename New York's Penn Station and Washington's Dulles Airport after him. Sources told ABC News Schumer rejected Trump's offer. Officials in New York and New Jersey say if the money isn't freed up by today, the project will stop, leaving around 1,000 construction jobs in jeopardy.
Yup, the man who literally ran on bringing jobs back used jobs as leverage to get his name on a train station in a city that despises him. Or to put this another way,
I will never, ever stop fighting for you.
For you, against you, what's the difference, right? But hey, at least Trump's entire cabinet isn't completely tone deaf when it comes to the hardships that Americans are facing.
Can you explain why President Trump asked Chuck Schumer to help him rename Penn Station and Dulles Airport after himself? Why is he interested in having his name on those two buildings?
To your first question about the renaming, why not?
This is not going to be a 20, 30-year project. This is not about a back room thinking about how we can spend money and develop plans but never deliver. We are going to move at the speed of Trump.
Yes, if there's one thing this balloon-ankled president who naps during cabinet meetings is known for, it is moving at breakneck speed. But you know what? That's not fair. Donald Trump actually does move quite quickly when it comes to bulldozing the White House for his ballroom, handing out no-bid contracts to his pals, and cutting billions from cancer research for himself. Because when Trump wants to do something, he gets it done no matter what, regardless of what the courts or judges or prosecutors or any other branch of government has to say. Which should be a stark reminder that the only reason Americans' gas prices and utility bills haven't gone down, or the war in Iran hasn't ended, or the Epstein files haven't been released, is because Trump doesn't want those things to happen. And if you need further proof that this president's priorities are had to alert the public because it does not, in his favor, of locations where American history is better presented. The administration did have to yes, sea of maps. Donald Trump can't help but notice whatever is just around the corner. Impossible because he knows that once he's out of office, no one is going to do it for him. He is well aware that his actions as president do not Donald Trump's center for grifting and sexual abuse. This president's entire campaign was based around him feeling your pain and promising to make your life better. Literally none of that has happened. But I guess a campaign ad promising to spend billions of taxpayer dollars throwing his name on things isn't exactly a winning message. Donald Trump doesn't care about getting jobs back or lowering costs. All he cares about is surrounding himself with a crew of sycophants who will help him achieve his ultimate goal of being a billionaire autocrat who is wriggling neck too far to see his name on it. And when it comes to achieving that goal,
We are going to move at the speed of Trump.
they sure are. Before you go, one quick request. It's become clear to me that this White but it didn't quite down then, and I won't do it now. So please subscribe to this channel. The link to subscribe is right here on the screen. And together, let's make sure that we send a message to this administration that all they're doing by attacking me and independent media is making our platforms all the more powerful. Thanks.
World Cup ended yesterday, finito, with Spain defeating Argentina 1-0 on the pitch, in the footy. The Spain-Argentina final was like a reverse where players spoke Spanish. The halftime show was in English. We had Madonna and Justin Bieber, and for some reason, the Muppets. Is that the most of the game. The score was 0-0. Talk to the score master. I sat back for one. 3 hours. For you. I'm burning alive. Finally, congrats to World Cup champions. Spain, España, clearly the best team in this year's tournament. And they celebrated receiving the World Cup trophy with a trophy hoist, which is traditionally, it's a role that is shared really only by the players. Functional that is only for the players. It is really just, what the f*** is going on with Spain? It's for the players. God damn! Why must everything be tainted by the overinflated ego of people's home team? Why? Why? I will admit this article was a Trump post. I thought it was incredible. It was 4 times greater than any FIFA ever held. What's a FIFA? How could our FIFA be 4 times greater than any other FIFA? And it's probably about 5 times, actually. Just don't have it. Is that what they told you? You know, they're telling you that everyone around you lies to you. Because you're a weirdo. Can we go back a second, though? What is up with the guy behind Trump? Can we see him? What the f*** is this guy? What is it? Who in the world is it? Oh my God, is that a backup Trump? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, what? Wait, who? What? Is that a backup Trump or that Trump? Wait, is the one we've been dealing with backup Trump? Or is that Trump's? Let's move on from the World Cup final to something with no actual end in sight. The Iran war. The Iran war is reigniting, and as escalation continues, more intense and widespread bombing, there's no sign that either side is prepared in any way to... God, you're not in this graphic! You're not in this graphic! What? We have talked about this! You're not in this graphic! Get him out of the graphic! Is that real Trump or backup Trump? I don't know what's happening. Anyway, clearly, the war is escalating. And Americans are rightly concerned that we will be drawn even further into a war that has already cost too much in American lives and money. And so it was that Donald Trump delivered a primetime national speech on Thursday night to address this urgent situation. In mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election. So they wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job. Those Chinese bastards. I'll have you know, both Presidents Trump are hot as and doing a great job. Blue tie's doing a little better than red tie, but still. But yes, apparently the President of the United States called this meeting to announce a new entry in his long-running mystery series, 2020 election. What had happened was, with the turn of a dial or the change of a chip, you can press a button for Trump, and the vote goes to Biden. Illegal aliens and dead people are voting.
Big technology companies censored the Hunter Biden laptop story, which independent analysis have said it cost Donald Trump millions of
when we were all wearing masks and socially distancing for fear we would come across a Hunter Biden dick pic. So now they've settled on maybe China did it. A theory that lasted all the way until a few minutes after Thursday night's speech, when reporters brought over John Solomon, who got Trump hired to find any evidence that China did it.
All I know is what the intelligence shows, right? I don't know if the intelligence committee has zero evidence that someone has put that foreign power flipped a vote in 2020.
But I'm not actually worried about our election security because we have a robust cybersecurity and infrastructure agency that monitors threats to our system. And one of the things that I learned in the Trump administration is that Trump fired a third of the workers last year at CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency. Well, that news would have me shitting my pants. If I wasn't already shitting my pants due to the cuts to our food monitoring system that has produced a nationwide diarrhea outbreak. But at least we have that outbreak under control, as our incredibly competent FDA has finally identified the source of the outbreak.
The Food and Drug Administration now taking back what it said
I think I
about the
missed that
source
by
of the
0.5
cyclospora
of a
outbreak.
second.
The FDA now says the sample from Mexico-based Taylor Farms was a false positive. The FDA admitted it made a mistake and apologized.
Crystal clear waters of our nation's Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The reflecting pool's closed. Where will we wash our lettuce? I'm starting to get a sense that this administration is not as not as competent. And it's not just the pool or the diarrhea. Trump said he was going to cut our energy bills in half. Electricity's up 18%. He said gas prices would go below $2 a gallon. It's up to $3 a gallon. He said he was going to stop billboards and sponsoring the second of November. He said he was going to lead a booming manufacturing jobs. We've lost tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs. They said they would be singing Merry Christmas again. No one's wishing you Merry Christmas. This country was going to enter a golden age because only qualified people would be in charge now. No more of the woke bullshit that had held this country down for so long.
We will terminate every diversity,
Damn it.
equity, and inclusion program.
DEI is a cancer. It's a cancer that destroys merit.
We want the most competent people. They have to be at the highest level of genius.
shit.
Punch kerfuffle. Look at Jimothy! Look at him cavorting! That's his family cavorting with Jimothy when he was a baby. Look at them all! They love Jimothy. That's not my judgment. That is the judgment of the community. They have decided. Not making a decision, by the way. Is that a raccoon or an otter? I don't know what that is. But I'll tell you what I think. Jimothy has merit. Unlike all those that were running the government before Trump. And Trump's merry band of gifted and talented technocrats stepped in to save the day. First stop for them to save the day. No longer would our nation's joint engine hijacked by the Presidents and lack of access. No. The best and the brightest would be in charge from here on out. And the results to the economy. We're off to a great start. Yes. But unfortunately, DEI had a greater stranglehold on the levers of our government than we originally thought. The first quarter showed by. All right, well, first quarter. Q2 ends in April, so April is when our best and brightest finally gets paid, and it's coming now, and I tell you what, it feels great. Enough about your Epstein testimony. What about the economy? In the not too distant future, I think that we will be back to firing all cylinders. So ready? Over the next 3 months. So the economy will be fixed by our meritocracy 3 months. August of 2025?
I think we're going to really pick up in the fourth quarter.
So no later than December of 2025.
The lift off 2026, 2027.
That is a long liftoff. Generally, a liftoff is 10, 9, 8, not January, February, March. But you know what? If this ever-competent administration can't turn this one blatant economy around, they still have options. Maybe the show will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost $1 million more than they would normally. See, that's what the confidence has gotten us. That's what the meritocracy has done for us. The economy's going to boom in a month. You know what? How many dolls do you people need? Just get 2 and cut them into pieces. Now you got 16. Older kids get the tops. Younger ones get the bottoms. Punch gets whatever's left over. This meritocracy talk was a sham. Remember once uber-capable Elon Musk doged out the unworthy woke deep state minorities? We were supposed to have been thinking with
Fucking hell.
Doge firing thousands of IRS workers, creating chaos.
Hundreds of layoffs at the Centers for Disease Control, the FAA, and FEMA.
3,500 jobs from the FDA.
Hundreds of senior staff at the Department of Homeland Security.
Parts of the National Weather Service sending away crews into the South, laid off all federal workers to investigate firefighter deaths. Accidentally fired some veterinarians and animal health technicians working to prevent the spread of bird flu. You fired the people trying to prevent bird flu. Which can teach birds how to sing to the devil. Alright. Maybe Doge is an answer to mentions to the entire departments on that project. But at least they reduced the federal deficit.
I think it was more important to reduce the federal deficit than $1 billion.
Sure, you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. That's right. Hey, you can't spell meritocracy without more T. Yeah, that's right. Watch out, Ron. We just declared war on T's nuts. So help me God. If Jimothy gets screwworm, I will go crazy. But it's okay, folks. There's no need to be concerned that public health will suffer from unqualified, incomprehensible leadership. They've already dealt with the real problem. $1 billion worth of DEI studies. DEI research has never cured diseases ever. Studying a drug. Okay. Now, excuse for a moment that what he just said is factually wrong. The broad nature of what they consider DEI would exclude treatments for sickle cell anemia, autism, pregnancy complication, women's cardiovascular health, and many other great advances made by the people you all consider suspect. Robert Kennedy Jr., of all people, to have the balls to hop on board an anti-DEI, only meritocracy train. Mother, if your name wasn't King, here's how only the job is. Oh, it says here, heroin addict. Who eats roadkill? Do you have any references? I mean, I do. Harvey Weinstein, Bill Clinton, I was on Jeffrey Epstein's show 2 times. Welcome aboard. It's one thing to fall short in this duty to the country, but Trump's meritocracy is even struggling with the one thing Trump was supposed to be good at, petty revenge, like the cases he tried to bring against James Comey and New York Attorney General Rich James. Tonight, a federal judge throwing out both criminal cases against 2 of President Trump's biggest political foes. Judge Cameron Curry finding that prosecutor Lindsay Halligan was not an attorney authorized by law to conduct grand jury proceedings. Well, you can't spell meritocracy. Well, I think actually they can't spell it. Forget lawfare. Trump's meritocracy. Who even do state fair? More hiccups for the Great American State Fair at the National Mall. Struggling to draw a crowd.
10 states or territory did not show up.
Hovering above ground. Vinyl wrapped buildings have crinkled on occasion. The power went out in the food hall at one point and also on the Ferris wheel.
Bring their own water.
First responders treating people for heat-related illnesses. Others huddling under a replica of President Trump's triumphal arch for shade. Is there a better image that represents the rise of Trump's meritocracy than the MAGA faithful huddling under a plywood replica of a memorial Trump is going to erect to himself, using money that should have gone to the weather services that would have warned these people about the heat wave they were seeking refuge from? Bring me your heat stroke, your bored, your huddled masses yearning to rehydrate. For this is Trump's America. We were told over and over again, the problem is government only exists to the benefit of the entitled DEI rich class. But the reality seems to be that their version of meritocracy only rewards legacy, fealty, and access, leaving the rest of us with the real DEI. Diarrhea everywhere.
This weekend was the big World Cup final, and I'd like to congratulate Spain for Okay, now what are we taxing ourselves to punish Canada for?
Everything from heavy-duty wood and paper and furniture to things like hockey sticks and dairy products.
No hockey sticks? What's my husband going to keep jammed in the corner of the garage for the past 15 years? Now, obviously, it's very frustrating to be back in this trade war again, but if you're worried that this is another case of Trump abusing his power...
Okay. Bye.